Hello, welcome to the Total Clarity Podcast. I'm Jessie Hyatt.
And I'm Mike Varley, and this is week 44 of 52 weeks walking New York City.
Yeah, and right now we are in Windy City Island, which is part of the Bronx, and we are walking on our route, which is called Pelham Bay Park and City Island.
That's right. You can see here, got a beautiful day, very windy day. We got some gale warnings, but it's nice and bright, and we figured we'd start off by walking the entire length of City Island. Look at this bird with a fish.
And there's a bird that caught a fish.
Wow.
What a sight.
What a sight. We've already begun with something interesting.
These are the types of things that you can see out here at Belden Point.
That's right, Belden Point. Also, Johnny's world famous reef restaurant.
Yeah, we've never heard of it, but they say it's world famous, so we have no choice but to take their word for it.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing that a restaurant can do when they say famous, and then I immediately think, oh, it must be famous. Yeah.
So Belden Point out here is named for a developer from the 1800s that built an amusement park in the area.
Really?
And a bunch of the wealthy elites from early New York City history, such as the Hearst family and the J.P. Morgan family, spent their time out here as a recreation.
Really?
Really?
Well, that, I think, kind of makes sense with the current iteration of this location, because it is chock full of restaurants to visit.
Sure.
And that, you know, like it's a destination. And so far, this is both Jessie and my first time out on this city island, and it's
That's
fantastic.
Not true. I've been here once before, but
my lie.
It's my first time with you, and
My
that's special.
Well, what happened the last time you were here?
I came out here for a day and
you were at Pelham Bay.
Ate at a seafood restaurant, and then went back into the city.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, you learn something new every day about the person you walk 5 marathons a week with.
It's true.
But yeah, this has been really a lot of
Windy.
Hence the wind. It's been a really eye-opening experience insofar as I'm not sure there's a spot like this in the city otherwise.
Yeah, City Island definitely feels, you know, the only thing I could compare it to would be Red Hook.
Yeah.
But it's really not like Red Hook at all.
Yeah.
This island is 1.5 miles long and only about 1/4 or 1/2 mile wide at any point.
Yeah.
So it's really small.
Yeah.
It's really, the whole thing is walkable, not only for us, but really for most people.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've brought this up a number of times. We bring it up a lot on our walks, just in our personal time. But New York is surrounded by water, so it makes sense that there would be a fishing culture. But it's also, in this modern day and age, doesn't really make a lot of sense. You know, the water, I don't often think that it's water that I'd want to eat fish out of. But out here on City Island, we're right on the edge of Pelham Bay, and we're also butting up against the Long Island Sound.
Yeah.
And as you get out further onto Long Island, you do want to eat the fish from that water. That seems appropriate.
Right.
Or at least I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a lot of people that still just dock here.
Yeah.
And then probably sail out there further onto the island, and that's where they catch their stuff.
Yeah. It has a lot of different elements of the city here, and then a lot of elements that I don't associate with New York City in one. Like, there's all of these different seafood restaurants.
Right.
I mean, there are spots in the city that have a lot of seafood restaurants in one concentrated area, but it doesn't feel like a getaway like this place does.
Right.
It almost feels closer to a Myrtle Beach or a Jersey Shore type situation.
It really does. It feels, I mean, even we have been staying out here because it is kind of tricky to get to.
Yeah.
And it has felt like being on vacation.
Yeah.
It feels like we're in a beach town or vacation town. And I guess a number of the people that live out here are only out here in the summers. Similar to like a Nantucket or any other beachy island town.
Yeah, and a lot of the architecture of the homes kind of reflects that sense of island life.
Right.
Which is, it's got that quaint vibe going for it.
Right.
But the restaurants I wouldn't necessarily call quaint. I think they're very good, but it's more about like how many tourists can we satisfy? At least that's what the vibe feels like.
That is sort of what it feels like. What we've experienced so far are, because we figured while we're out here we should probably eat some of the seafood. It's only appropriate. And we've experienced these huge restaurants that have, how do you explain it? Like a massive seafood dinner experience.
Right.
Each one that we've been at so far, as soon as you sit down, they bring over bread and they bring over this tray of like a cold antipasti, like olives and cheeses and some sort of like pickled things or sauteed mushrooms and that sort of thing. And then a couple of them also just bring a salad, and before you even like order your meal, but then when you order your meal, it's like a whole event.
Yeah.
You can get like a seafood extravaganza, which is like $80, but it'll feed 2 or 3 people, and it's, every sort of seafood that you would think of is on there.
Right.
And,
yeah,
it seems like each place has their own version of that offering, as well as then like what you would expect at any seafood restaurant, just regular fish or fried food and that kind of thing too.
Yeah, it seems like the price bakes in all those little extras and the idea that you're going to be taking stuff home. Like we most recently went to a place and they had this like elaborate printed out bag that like told the story of the location and had like beautiful lobsters on it and boats and whatnot. And it just makes it seem to me, and it was huge. It's like a large shopping bag to take all of your stuff. And it just illustrated to me the idea that like people come here to eat. It seems like a lot of times they come for special occasions, either like dates or birthdays and whatnot, and then they expect to take food home.
Yeah, and that's what we're sort of assuming based on being here for a week now and going to a few of the restaurants, and we're still, everything's still like smaller capacity and less people and whatnot. And it's not the high season yet. We're still in April. So this is what we're experiencing this week, and this was what it looks like is happening. I am curious. I'd be curious to come back in the summer and feel that vibe too. And even like in the dead of the winter. Yeah. We're kind of in an in-between season right now.
Yeah, we are.
But I looked up a little bit of a history of City Island.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So at one point, City Island was part of Westchester.
Okay.
And Pelham.
Yeah.
It is now part of New York City.
Uh-huh.
It was, so this whole area was owned by a man named Thomas Pell, who was a royal figure in Britain, and then moved over to this part of the world in the 1600s.
Okay.
And yeah, that's basically that's why Pelham Park is named Pelham Park.
Right.
That's why Pelham Bay is Pelham Bay. That's why Pelham, which I guess is a small town that's still technically Westchester. I think I'm getting that right. That's why that's all named that.
Yeah.
And then there was something, sorry.
Let's go to Jesse live researching.
Looking for the notes there was something really interesting, and I just want to make sure that I'm using the right words. Okay, so in 1761, after this island changing hands a number of different times, it was ultimately bought by a man named Benjamin Palmer. And at this point in time, the island was really only used by a handful of people. There were just a few homes, a few farms, and it was used as a docking station. And Palmer had this idea that City Island could rival Manhattan as a port.
Okay.
And so he got a patent that I tried to research this a lot. It's kind of confusing, but it's a patent that basically covers the waterfront and then 400 feet out from high tide into the island around the whole island.
Okay.
And it's known as the Palmer Grant. And I guess it's like what I think it means is that it's
Did
basically.
the Palmer grant it?
Well, his name was Palmer.
Right.
And it was a grant.
Palmer granted.
Oh, pomegranate. Oh, that's good. I didn't get it at first.
Anyway.
But yeah, so
what did the Palmer grant?
I guess it's basically saying that like that area can only be used for shipping.
Okay.
Because he, like I said, he wanted this to become a port.
Yeah.
And so a lot, like since then, that was made in the 1700s.
Yeah.
And since then, many times people have like tried to develop that land, make it into like condos or whatever people want to develop into these days. And it's always been upheld, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm understanding it correctly, but I think I am, because I also think that would kind of explain why City Island is the way it is, even though it certainly is not, I don't think at any point a port that rivaled what Manhattan was at one point. It actually is probably just as good as Manhattan at this point, because we don't use Manhattan as like this major industry port anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say one way or the other. But
although I guess we do, I guess on the Hudson there's a bunch of spots where cruise ships show up and things are still delivered in and out. But yeah, I feel like having this strange Palmer grant out here, I don't know if like the locals know about it or if there's controversy or if people care one way or the other, you know, but it seems like it's kept overdevelopment from happening. It seems like it's kept any sort of like, you know, a lot of times the islands are extended with landfill into the water, and that hasn't happened. And it's kept it this like quaint fisherman vibe.
As we've just passed through most of the main streety feeling vibe of the island.
We've got the Clam Diggers laundromat over there.
That's right. Here's a church that we, on Sunday when we arrived, heard the bells playing. They were kind of funny because they played 10 minutes early and then a little atonally.
Yeah, they were like a little off.
But it was still nice.
No, it was good.
Right now we're approaching Tier Street. Tier Street is where we're staying this week. And those that have been following us for a while know that we did an episode on the Royal Tenenbaums. And one of the locations in the Royal Tenenbaums movie is Eagle Island. And Eagle Island is City Island. And on Tier Street, is the home that is shown in the Royal Tenenbaums.
Right, and I mean, we definitely didn't plan that. I think we chose this place because it was the only Airbnb on City Island
Right.
that was available. It's very cute. I mean, even if there were options, I still probably would have chosen it. But yeah, we had no idea until we actually got out here and Mike saw it or just realized you recognized the address or something.
It was on my Google Maps as a location of interest.
Oh.
And so, yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. Well, we got some footage of it so we can overlay it here so people can see what it looks like.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful big house and right on the water. It really makes sense as a filming location.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, it doesn't really stand out as being super different from the rest of the architecture or the homes in this area, but it also doesn't completely blend in. It feels definitely more, it's bigger and like more sort of in your face or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that it's by the water, it could make it feel like more of an estate than it might actually be.
Yeah.
But that was a cool little thing to find. We also, on that street is, or right at the edge of City Island Avenue and Tier Street is the Crab Shanty.
Yeah.
Which I've had some meals from a couple of times now, and it's fun. It's more of like a fried food place than some of the boiled lobster and stuff that we've been getting. So
yeah, it looks cute. I haven't eaten there yet because I don't know if I would be able to survive.
Those have been for the days that I've been eating
but
just
it looks
by myself.
Cute. It looks cute and good.
Yeah.
Also, at the end of our street is a marshland, which it doesn't seem like we're able to get into.
Yeah.
But there are a couple little marshlands around here, and when I was reading about City Island, I found out that there's a few different like types of animals that are specifically out here, and birds in particular. I'll name two.
Okay.
The first one we've seen before.
Yeah.
Well, we've not seen them while we've been out here, but the parakeets.
Oh,
Same
really?
kind of deal as in Greenwood.
Greenwood Cemetery.
Same kind of thing happened out here.
Yeah.
Where some pet parakeets got loose and created their own colonies out in, well, actually it's different than Greenwood, because in Greenwood they purposefully brought them in. But out here it sounds like it was just some mistake. But then the parakeets ended up breeding and creating colonies, and they're in Pelham Bay and City Island. Apparently something that you will see quite often, although we have not seen them yet. The other bird that I had never heard of was a feral pigeon.
Whoa, as opposed to those domesticated pigeons?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, aren't they all feral?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know what it means. I just thought it was funny sounding.
Yeah.
And I stopped there. But apparently they live in some of the marshlands out here. So I guess we should keep our eyes peeled, see if we can tell the difference.
Ooh, welcome to Nail Island. There's Seafood City. We tried to go there the other day, and it was more of like it looked like more of a fried food place than a sit-down place. So we ended up not going.
From out here, we thought or at least I thought it looked like a lodge sort of situation.
Yeah.
But when we actually got up to the doors, it looked more like maybe a Chuck E. Cheese. Like it seemed like maybe they had some games and there was like pizza and
we didn't go very far in, so we could be totally off. But
we could be, and again, it's like probably good. It just.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually waterfront seating on the other side.
Yeah.
And it looked good, but it was not something that we wanted at that time.
Yeah.
And there really are a lot of food options here, despite just the seafood.
It's really crazy. Yeah, there's also like there's a diner, there's a juice bar that looks good, there's a number of different like delis just with deli sandwiches and stuff. There's this place that we're coming up on that's a hibachi
Yeah.
grill. And then, yeah, I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah.
I've seen Latin American food, I've seen Mexican food, I've seen
Yeah.
like just your standard like American pub
Yeah.
thing. It's pretty like that aspect of it is really interesting. It makes it definitely feel like it's maybe a touristy location in some ways too.
Yeah. One thing that I want to cross the street for to show everybody that both Jesse and I have been intrigued by is this line of photos along here. And we're not sure. I mean, our first thought is, are these people that passed due to COVID? But also maybe it's people that have something to do with this. I think this might be a marina that, you know, we're not really sure.
Yeah, it's unclear if it's it's just unclear. There's no written information about who these people are, but it's a nice display regardless of who they are.
Yeah. I mean, at least one person has passed away, judging from the votive candles and the flowers.
Right.
So, in any respect, it is a really interesting display. And maybe if somebody watching knows, we'd be happy to have some more information about it. But yeah, we're almost at the end of the island already. It's very short.
Right, like we said, it's only 1.5 miles long.
Yeah, and we thought we haven't gone there yet. We don't even know if we can go on there. But there is one tiny island that is attached by a road to City Island. We wanted to see if we could get over there. And that's called High Island.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot.
Yeah.
Here's a place that we walked by on the first night here, the Bait and Tackle, and I thought it was gonna be a bar at first.
Yeah.
But it's actually a real bait and tackle shop.
Yeah. Be interested to see how the wind plays on our microphone.
Yeah.
It was the best day for us to do it this week. Yesterday was supposed to be thunderstorms all day, and then it only rained for about 15 minutes, which is good, ultimately, that it didn't rain. But it's always funny how, you prepare for the worst and then nothing ends up happening.
Right. Well, I think it's good luck. Sometimes it works out that way, where if you're in your full rain gear and your rain boots and everything, then you have a better chance of it not being
Right.
a rainy, miserable day.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you don't prepare, then you might get screwed.
All right, let's see where we best. Looks like maybe we should cross now while we have the shot. And here we've reached the end of City Island already.
Yeah.
25 minutes or
Amazing.
thereabouts.
And we're already at that bridge that goes over to Pelham Bay.
Yeah.
But we're not going to go over that bridge, right? We're going to make a right.
No, we're gonna try and see if we can get on the high island or not. Again, we haven't tried yet, so it may be some sort of park island or sanitation island. Your guess is as good as ours at this point. Here's City Island Lobster House. This is where we ate for the first night, and I think has been my favorite of the locations so far.
Yeah, it was really good. We learned about snow crab legs.
Yeah, they were so fantastic.
At this place.
Yeah.
Never had a snow crab leg before, but they are tasty.
And at night, a lot of these places are illuminated with neon, and it's really fun looking.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is the way down. Let's see. Yeah. Just take a couple of zigzags here. Get to see a little bit of what the side streets look like. There really isn't much in terms of width to the island either. You know, I would say maybe like, even at its longest width, maybe an avenue and a half in one direction and the other direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like I said earlier, I think it runs between a quarter mile and a half mile.
Yeah.
So we haven't been back here yet. Everyone watching is exploring it. Well, not in real time because we'll post this in 3 days, but you know, you're seeing us see it for the first time, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, here's another seafood place, JP's. This looks.
Oh yeah.
This looks good.
This looks great. Anything that's like this far.
Yeah.
Tucked away right on the water.
Yeah.
That seems like a good sign.
Yeah.
Maybe this is tonight's meal.
Maybe this is tonight's meal. Well, we still got leftovers from
That's true.
3 days we gotta culminate.
That's true. We might just have to come back to JP's post project.
Oh, I'm seeing
This is
a
cute.
fence. Let's see. Yeah, this is cute.
All these really nicely manicured lawns.
Yeah. Some flowering trees, the last gasps of the magnolias. So fast they go.
Yeah.
It's been enjoyable for the time that we've had it.
Yeah, you know, it has been really nice to just walk hundreds of miles during magnolia and cherry blossom season, so we really see them as much as we possibly ever could.
Yeah. Now, is this what would be the high island? It looks like it is. Let's see. 700 King Avenue, private property, no trespassing. Yeah. Identify yourself as being at the entrance to High Island. Ooh, now I feel like there's some intrigue here.
Yeah, I wonder if we could authorized visitors. I'm gonna try it.
I wonder what authorizes us to visit.
Yeah, I don't know.
A podcast?
Please ring the intercom. Oh, someone will be with you shortly. Okay, I should be patient. Okay, so we waited until this truck drove out with two guys in it, and we waved him down, and he seemed a little bit maybe nervous to talk to, like, why are these people here? What do they want? And we asked, is there any way to get out onto High Island? He said, no, it's private property. And then Mike asked, do you mind if I ask you what's out there? And it's a radio station.
Yeah.
It's 880 and Y-FAN? Is that what you said?
WFAN.
WFAN.
It's 660. It's an AM station, I guess, and it has 880, I believe, is CBS. So it's like all the AM news and talk stations.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. It must be a booster, because I don't think that wouldn't be where it originates from.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that works.
Yeah, but I think it's like, it seemed like maybe like a signal station, because also they looked like maybe like contractors, and then there were a number of people I just noticed with like big green vests on and stuff. So that's the answer to the High Island question.
That's the not so mysterious answer to the mystery of High Island.
Yes.
But we cannot go there right now, no.
No, we cannot go there, but we could listen in and maybe hear some tunes or sports radio or something coming straight from High Island.
Yeah. But now we are walking on our way to the Pelham Park area, Pelham Bay Park. And rather than walk all the way out there with us, we're going to jump around to some of the fun spots that we found throughout the week.
Yeah, so we'll see you out there.
Yeah.